back to the Zach F1 channel. Sorry, I am actually 8 minutes late. I was really trying to get all of my streams situations to sort itself out. It's been a bit of a long morning. Well, I've only been up for 20-25 minutes. I've basically just been setting up my stream, going through FP3 to see if there's any differences that I think we can take away from. But yeah, basically you can see my global league ranking down below here. This is what my team was for Brazil. I know, a bit of a blunder, and without further ado, oh my brain. Let's just go straight into it. And my first original thinking is Norris is a pretty safe _2 from the looks of things. However, Piastri doesn't look very good. And the easy thing to do would just be to swap Leclerc out for swap Piastri out for Leclerc and Albon down to Zhou. That's a very good team. However, it is an interesting thought to spice things up with like a Russell or a Hamilton. I don't actually think Mercedes as a constructor is worth doing, but it could be a little bit of a differential to go for the Mercedes. But anyway, now that I've got that out of the way, let me get the chat up so I can actually see what everyone's saying. Hope you're all having a good morning, evening, daytime, whatever time it is for you. Let me do that. Get out of there. Yeah, ADVS, how are you, man? And that's the thing. The reason I'm not too keen on Mercedes, and it is one of those, it could so be a Canada situation. I don't think it'll be as bad as Canada because in Canada Ferrari completely bottled it, whereas I don't think if they bottled it this weekend, it'd be lower than like both of them getting into the top 8. So it's not going to be like double DNFs, what we saw in Canada. But this is the issue. It's just Ferrari looks so powerful on the simulations, but when have the simulations been right? That's the issue I'm getting into. But normally for a simulation to be that wrong, like 0.44%, that's a big margin to McLaren and Ferrari. Hello, everyone. Hey, good stuff, Josh. Oh, man, I'm jealous. I wish I could be there right now. Vegas is such a cool place. Let's hope the racing's good this this year. So that's the reason I'm a little bit skeptical on Mercedes. But if the other issue is, Gion, is let's say you did. Actually, let's bring Joe back. Let's say you did bring the Mercedes triple team in. So you had Norris, Russell, Hamilton, which is a very differential team, and Zhou, let's say. Or actually, you could bring Hulkenberg in if you did something like that. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, man? If you did something like this, where'd you go from Qatar? Because I can tell you without a doubt, this would not be the big team for Qatar. And then how are you getting back to the Ferrari teams? Because then all of a sudden you've got enough time to move your premium drivers, but then you have to take a -10. And then all of a sudden you've got to think, okay, hang on. What happens? Is that -10 worth it? And I don't think it is. So I think if you're like me and you have drivers such as this, so let's go back, and you wanted to bring in some Mercedes assets, I would instantly think you've got to do one driver or one constructor. It's not both of them. You've just got to stick with one or the other because it's so important that on a sprint race weekend you do not get stuck with what we've seen. Let me show you, because this is what I'm worried about happening. Let's look at Cota, because Brazil's a bit all over the place. Look at how different the points were from Ferrari and McLaren to Mercedes. And that's what's scary. I know Lewis Hamilton. He crashed out basically, but that could happen. And then what happens to your team after all of that? You've lost 42 points, and it's not worth it anymore. I just think it's too much. I just think it's not worth risking it for the chocolate biscuit. Go for Ferrari. I think it's going to be very split. You know what? Let's get the first what's it called, poll going on, right? Which I'm just going to put Ferrari or Mercedes. Because I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about it. Because I'm still on the Mercedes. I'm still on the Ferrari shout. But it is, like I mentioned, just because even if it's a similar Canada situation, you're going to have Norris there, you're going to have Leclerc there. I don't think Mercedes are getting a 1-2. So I don't think it's one of those very scary moves. If it was like, okay, Ferrari were completely off the pace like Red Bull are looking right now, then I would be a little bit worried. But Ferrari are right there as well. So it's one of those issues. I don't think it's enough proof to push me towards a Mercedes. Will the fact that Merc tyres are warming quicker mean that they chew? Basically, yeah. They'll start graining quicker. But it's pretty low deg track here at Vegas. So it's going to work out for them. Qualifying runs, heaven. But that's why they're talking about race pace. Because if everyone else is having no issues with tire deg, and then you got the Mercedes who look like they've been on their tires for 100 laps after 10 laps, there's going to be an issue. Right, so for everyone who's just coming in, this is most likely my team for the weekend. 2 times I'm putting on Lando. Lando's looked pretty consistent this weekend. I don't think he's going to get pole. I don't even think potentially he could get a win. But from what we've seen from practice results and from the practice debrief, McLaren looked like the strongest asset, and Piastri looks nowhere, so you've got to just go with Lando Norris. Not believing Merc, yeah. To be fair, I thought it'd be more people would be believing in Mercedes. That's interesting, because I thought it'd be more 50-50. 2 times Leclerc's quite interesting. I'll get to that in a second. The question is Sainz or Leclerc. I do think it is Leclerc. Don't read into FP3. 12 FP3 doesn't matter as much. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Also, if he did actually qualify P12, it'd probably be better for us. Yay, I love how F1 Fantasy Point system works. And then using autopilot here, thinking Norris Sainz versus Norris Russell or Leclerc Piastri. See, in a situation like you have here, autopilot, I think Norris Sainz is too much of an issue. I don't think Sainz is scoring more points than Norris. But I think there's an outside chance of Norris Russell. And I really actually like that pairing this weekend if you can't afford the Norris and Leclerc. I would probably say my favourite pairings this weekend is Norris Leclerc, Norris Russell / Hamilton, then Norris Sainz, then Norris Piastri. Piastri just looks like he's absolutely nowhere, and I don't know why. But hey, we'll see. Maybe he'll do better in qualifying. Double Ferrari or Norris Russell? Yeah, all right. Yeah, Norris Russell. I think I've gone for. McLaren is still the best constructor. Yeah, 100%. McLaren's not an issue. So if you're pondering to yourself and you're thinking, do I go for Mercedes or Ferrari? It's never thinking, Ferrari and Mercedes look good. That would be very, very interesting. So be careful with that. But I know Ferrari is what I'll be going with and what I think everyone else should be going for. There's going to be really low tire degradation, but if Mercedes are the only ones having issues with tires overheating and stuff, that could become an issue because everyone's basically looking very good bar them, and I think that's where the race pace sims come from. Thoughts on Gasly? Again, this was even before the simulations come out. By the way, Aston Martin in dead last. Let's see what happens with that. Alpine have always struggled in race pace compared to their qualifying pace, so I think be careful if you do pick Gasly, because let's say you've got my sort of team and you can afford to bring in Hulkenberg. That probably means Gasly's right behind him. It's Gasly at Hulkenberg, and I would just go for Hulkenberg every day of the bloody week. Right. My bad, Royal. But yeah, autopilot here, 3 times in Qatar. Right, remember everyone, if you have more than one chip available to you, you just got to get them done. But if that chip is, let's say, extra DRS and autopilot, like we've seen with Royal, then extra DRS is safe for Qatar, and autopilot can be used here or Abu Dhabi. Either one doesn't matter too much. Two times on Leclerc on ice. I've gone with Norris. I know Michael was just talking about the Sims saying they believe Leclerc is the best option. But I'm a little bit skeptical about Ferrari as a whole. I know, I mean, that sort of makes sense for a 100 million team. So let's go to 100.8 for max, because also that's most likely what the situation is going to be. Also, oh no, to be fair, this is normal time to get the post FP3 situations up. See, that's interesting. They've gone for a full Ferrari lineup. Now, I get it, purely because 125.8, you can't afford Norris and Leclerc teams. But first of all, I don't think Piastri or Sainz is the second best option. That's why I think if you can't afford Norris Leclerc, you got to go Norris Russell. So I would actually go Norris Russell and then see what you can do down here. Hulkenberg, Bottas, Colapinto. Remember, Bottas has a grid penalty. He's definitely starting last unless he has a cracker. I swear to God, if he all of a sudden pulls out like the best qualifying he's had in his life and gets like a P8, and then we have Bottas in P13 and he just drops down to P20 by the end of it, it would be ridiculous. I mean, what's my budget saying? I think I've got a budget around that. It could be a little bit more. Yeah, it is a bit more then, because I can afford to have Norris, Leclerc. Let's see what it's saying. I just don't see Sainz being the big hit. Okay, I get it. Again, I don't agree with the Gasly pick though. I think it's Hulkenberg over Gasly. Okay, it's gonna be interesting. Man versus machine. When we get to the track session, Gasly, Zhou or Tsunoda Bottas. See, I would go with Tsunoda Bottas this weekend because of the grid penalty. He's most likely going to be starting behind Zhou, which means instant overtake and position gained, potentially for Bottas with his new, I believe it's a new engine he's brought in. And Tsunoda versus Gasly. Tsunoda's just the bang average choice. Nothing too crazy we've seen from the V-Carbs. I'm just really scared for anyone who brings Alpine in and then Gasly just qualifies P7 and P8. It looks all lovey-dovey. And then he drops down to P13, P14 by the end of the race. Because that is a situation that can happen. Ferrari, Hamilton, or Mercedes Leclerc. Oh, we've got a difference of opinion here. Because, Ian, I'd go with Ferrari and Hamilton because I think it's more important the constructor. I've always thought this. So be careful when picking that option. I would go Ferrari, Hamilton. Yeah, it's interesting that it's saying 2 times on Leclerc. We'll see how that goes, but I'm not seeing where they're seeing this Ferrari 2 times pace from. But we didn't see this in Canada as well. Oh man, I'm getting PTSD. It is literally Canada 2.0 all over again. It's gonna happen. I'm thinking to drop Norris as my 2 times for Leclerc and Sainz. What do you think? Well, do you want to risk it for the chocolate biscuit? Because you've got 2 options. If you've actually got 2 different chocolate biscuit situations. You've got the plain old what I'm going for, Norris Leclerc, pretty safe, Ferrari and McLaren. You can't go wrong with that. No matter how bad that team does, it's still going to be better than average teams. But then you've got the Mercedes route of Norris and Russell, if you can't afford the Norris Leclerc team, and sticking with Ferrari, which is the way I think you should go. Or you've got the Norris Leclerc with McLaren and Mercedes pathway, and I just think that's too risky. Mercedes as a whole, especially with Hamilton's qualifying pace. Hamilton's qualifying pace has been pretty rubbish this whole season. Plus, if Mercedes are only good on the qualifying place, they have to do well to make sure they can just stick it out in a race. And I don't think Hamilton's going to be able to do that for them. Russell, potentially. But Hamilton, a little bit worried about his qualifying pace. With autopilot, I might as well, if you've still got something like that, go for it. See what happens. Either way, if you put it on Norris or Leclerc with autopilot, well, you're sitting pretty. But I think it's going to be... why do I trust Norris? Practice debrief pace. I've watched him... I've watched him in FP1 and FP2. I can't say I watched FP3 because I was not half asleep. I was fully asleep. I just went through and sat through what happened. And I get it. The reason Norris is a bit worrying is because just look at the last results. Something always happens to him in the last results. I mean, even in Singapore, when that was his race weekend, got fastest lap taken away, didn't get driver of the day. It's a little bit worrying, but I still think it's the way. McLaren just looks so fast, and especially with where Piastri is. Piastri's nowhere at the minute. I just don't think there's any other option McLaren-wise. And to go triple Ferrari on a weekend where even Mercedes look like they're a little bit in there is crazy. And I'm of the opinion this weekend, especially when McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes all look pretty decent on pace, that you need to have at least 2 of the 3 assets in there. So on normal weekends, I'd be like triple Ferrari, triple McLaren, do one of them, hope that they do the best. But it's better just in case. And now I've got Norris and Leclerc, just in case something bad happens, I go, oh, okay, at least I had Leclerc in my team. If I was on the Mercedes build and I did what I was talking about and I had Norris, Russell and had Ferrari, I was like, oh, okay, Russell didn't pan out, but at least I start with Ferrari. Or, oh, I got the Mercedes constructor and that worked. You've got to balance things out, because I do think it's one of those hard weekends to tell what's going to happen. We've seen it before with the Mercedes race pace, especially in Canada, where they've shown, look at this, then they're going to drop off, don't worry. The McLarens, Red Bulls and Ferraris will overtake them, and they couldn't. Well, by the end of the race, Mercedes, it was very close, especially Ferrari couldn't know. So just be wary, be very wary. But for me, I'm still sticking with all of that. I mean, let's have a look. Let's see what people are thinking. So people are thinking 70% to 30% Ferrari versus Mercedes. Let's do another poll of what was I thinking? Yeah, Norris, Russell. Oh, whoops, my bad. Norris/Russell or Leclerc/Sainz, because those are the 2 teams that you would get if you couldn't afford the Norris-Leclerc teams. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, why seems loving Ferrari so much? I think McLaren are better. Biblical, I think I'm in the same situation as you. I haven't seen anything too crazy. I mean, let's just have a look at the FP3 results, because Ferrari did look good, and they look like they will be pushing it. But practice 1, never a big thing. Practice 1, but they looked okay. You know, both in the top 6. That's fine. Then in FP2, which is the big one, Sainz and Leclerc 4th and 5th, both half a tenth off the top dog Lewis Hamilton. I'm completely fine with that. That's okay. Practice 3, Sainz looked good. Don't worry about Leclerc. They look okay again, though. But on each situation, you have both the Mercedes and McLarens ahead of them. Yeah. Leclerc, don't worry about it. Leclerc, it's not his fault he's down in 12th. Don't worry about that. He will be completely fine. Hamilton or George? I'm inclined to go George, because I really do think that we've got this situation where, like I mentioned before, to anyone who was here before, that... Oh, my bad. I haven't actually full screen my screen as well. Where is it? I can't remember how to do it. There we go. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. My bad. I can't remember what I was saying. My bad. Tommy, right. Russell does have a weird way of finding his... Yeah, no, there we go. That's what I was saying. Russell and qualifying pace works well. The race pace is always horrible. But that's why if you want to go for the differential Mercedes asset, I would go for a Russell instead. I just don't see in a world Hamilton getting into the top 3 in qualifying, and that means he'll probably be top 5, top 6. And then what happens from there with the race pace, I just don't think he can keep up with the Ferraris and the McLarens. It's going to be interesting to see where the Red Bulls are. I mean, it doesn't actually affect... Hey, Zaid. It doesn't actually affect F1 Fantasy that much, because no one really... needs them. But... Yeah. wait, hang on. Who's thinking of taking a minus 20? Oh, it's 8. Yes, please don't take a minus 20. Right, budget 122.8 Leclerc, Russell. Ooh, interesting. Okay. With McLaren and Ferrari minus they're all issues. Okay, all teams have Bottas and Colapinto. Okay, that's fine. Piastri, Sainz. Oh God. Wait, hang on, Zaid. What was your team before all of this? Wait, I really want to know your team before this, because I'd be inclined to go with one of the minus 20s just because there's only a minus 10 option. But what was your team before? Surely you don't need to take these minus 20s. I think FP3 was pretty much a wash. That late red flag, yeah. People's last lines when the track was peak. Yeah, I agree. That's why FP2 is more of the one to have a look at. What 420.3? Let's have a look for you. I believe it's going to be showing you a Sainz Russell build or something like that. 120.3 is not much. It could even be a single premium driver. Oh, okay. Yeah, you've got the lovely idea. Oh, I see. Okay. So, if you've got 120.3, get rid of Magnussen. Go to Norris. Hulkenberg, Gasly. I'd probably get rid of Gasly for Tsunoda. So, I'd probably actually go Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Bottas, and Colapinto with Norris. If you can afford another driver like Lawson, that'd be fine there as well. So Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Lawson, Bottas. With Ferrari, McLaren, and Norris, I'd go for. I see what you mean. It's to take a minus 20 for all of that, though, is really difficult. You just got to think, it's not worth it, Zaid. I thought, didn't you have wildcard? This could be an issue with you wildcarding, if you had it. What if you're using Limitless and going for all the mini leagues? Yeah, sure. Let's have a look at that, because I haven't spoken about that much, but people will be doing this. Someone told me, I think it was Infinity, he'll probably be on the stream later, that he was doing that. So if you're going for Limitless, because this is purely for the mini leagues, please do not do this if you're focusing on Global League, unless it's like one of your second teams. I can't remember exactly how the mini leagues, because I never paid too much attention to them. I think, yeah, because after China, where they had to give out like 100,000, it was a lot of Zhou hats that never got given. I've not really cared about them too much. Right. Oh, my bad. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so it's plain and simple. Bim bam boom. Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, dead on. I think it'd be safe to put Piastri in there. It's now the situation of Hamilton and Russell, or Verstappen. But that's the issue. Is Hamilton going to be not even in the top 5? I mean, not Hamilton, Verstappen. So, McLaren, Ferrari, good. Norris 2 times, good. Leclerc, good. Sainz, good. And then you got Piastri and Russell, which could be changed around. Yes. Okay, yeah, I remember now. You might have to take that hit then. If you want to get ready for what's it called, for the sprint race weekend, you might have to. If that's a big hit though, I would probably go for the minus 10 then. Only the minus 10 team. So Piastri, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Albon with McLaren, Ferrari. Go for the minus 10. Yeah, that's the issue. Because where is Verstappen going to be in all of this if you're playing with Limitless? But who does he overtake? Do you get rid of Sainz? I think you could get rid of Sainz and go for a bit of a wish-wash. Or you could play it completely safe. But I think on this weekend to not have a single Mercedes driver in your Limitless team is interesting. I don't know if it's good or bad. But I'm swaying a little bit more towards it could be bad. Heaven, right. You know what? Screw Sainz. That's it. That's Zach F1's Limitless team. We're going for a little bit of a different idea on the Zach F1 Limitless team here with a cheeky Russell. Maxi Taxi over there. Bim bam boom. Okay, there we go. Michael, I got it in. I don't know if Mike, your comment's gonna come up first or my. or am I changing to him? But yeah, Leaps Frogs, hey, good to see you in the chat, man. Hope you're doing well. Mustafa covers off the 3 times DRS triple premium teams better. What is this for the Limitless teams? Oh, I see, yeah. The 3 times, eesh. Which combo, though, Piastri Russell, Sainz Russell, Hamilton Russell, McLaren Ferrari. I would go with Piastri Russell. With McLaren Ferrari, Albon Colapinto, Bottas. The rest of your team's okay. It's a shame about Albon, though. Okay, oh, yeah, we need to talk about that. Jeez Louise. Right, next poll of the weekend. Right, let's get back over to here. Also, hey, Yuri. How you doing, man? Hello. Hello, Italy. What time is it over there? Because I know right now it's 5:20 in the morning for me. Jeez Louise. I forget because I started this stream a bit later. Because, what's it called? Because basically I wasn't waking up for 4:30. I woke up at 4:20 and it took me like half an hour to get the stream ready, go over FP3, go over FP2 again. Oh god, 100% Zaid. I appreciate the support. Hey Austin, no problem, man. I'm glad you're all here. No matter what time it is. I believe, what's it called, in Vegas is quite late as well. Actually, in the whole of America, it's a big place, so there's a lot of time zones, so it could be any time there. Zaid, I do autopilot this weekend. No negative next weekend. Or no negative and autopilot. 12:20. Oh, that's a lovely time for this. Not gonna lie, there's something like, all right, I do like late races on F1 purely because, you know, you can get together, you can go to a pub, or you can have a drink, or you can just relax. But morning races, knowing you just wake up, you have your breakfast, you're feeling good about the day, and boom, qualifying's at 1. Boom, the race is at 12 or 1. It's like, Anyway, I'm getting distracted. That's not that's not what I'm here to talk about. Sorry. Right, yes. Let's get the next poll up, which is the big one. Yeah. Which is, so people believe Norris Russell over Leclerc Sainz. I'm inclined to agree with that. The next poll is Zhou or Albon. I'm on Team Zhou this weekend. Albon, Zhou. I'm Team Zhou this weekend, 100%. Williams, even though they looked okay, they did not look okay in FP2 actually. 5:20, been up since 12 o'clock Friday. Oh, jeez Louise, Jonathan. Barely awake, but stressing for the deadline. Yeah, no, honestly, I set so many different alarms. The first one, luckily, I woke up to, and I was like, oh, thank God. Yeah, no, Michael, we are actually, PTSD from Albon is actually ridiculous. How many times has he screwed me over on points? Imola, he screwed me over, but it wasn't even his fault. Mexico, he screwed me over. Brazil, he screwed me over. He didn't even race. Oh, you know what? We can't go into it. I'm gonna go spiraling. But yeah, get off my team, Piastri. Oh yeah, and then after that poll, actually, we'll ask what people are thinking on the Leclerc Norris, who's a better option. As suspected, Zhou's doing a clean sweep. It's actually incredible to me how we're actually going to have Zhou in F1 Fantasy over 9 million. How? Potentially, going into Qatar, I'm going to be dropping out Zhou to someone like Albon because he's a cheaper asset, only because he's cheaper. And I'll be like, ooh, maybe if I'm screwing about with my premium drivers. But we'll see what happens. I like Leclerc Russell more than Norris Russell. See, so Zaid, can you explain why you think Leclerc's going to be better? Because we haven't seen anything on the race pace from the Ferraris. We haven't seen anything from the quali pace from Ferrari. It's all been McLaren or Mercedes, and then us just knowing Ferrari's going to be there. Hamilton Leclerc, What, Hamilton or Leclerc? If it's between Hamilton and Leclerc. If it's both of them, who are you changing? Machek. Right, bought with a grid penalty over Albon with no spare parts. Yeah, exactly. I mean, bro, we could get to Qatar and Williams just go, yeah. Who? I thought F1 only had one driver. What? 2 cars? How can teams afford that? I mean, their team is a mess right now, and I'm so hoping they can sort it out in 2025. Well, hopefully they can. However, actually, I say that Sainz is a little bit of keen to a bit of crashing occasionally. Yeah, honestly, DBS, too right, man. Do we have FP3 long runs? I don't believe so. Because these race pace sims, I'm pretty sure, are all from FP2, because this comes out before FP3, doesn't it? Yeah, 16 hours ago it does. No, not really. But FP3, I really wouldn't take a look at that much. It's all about FP2, and I genuinely, full transparency, I could 100% see FP2 results happening. And then, obviously, Mercedes dropping off in the race. Alpine dropping off in the race. Bar Verstappen and maybe Perez will be down there. My bad. Maybe Verstappen will be down there. No, not Verstappen. Perez will be down there because that's Perez. Verstappen probably will jump up to top 6. So you'd actually have probably Gasly 7th, Magnussen 8th. Be careful of Magnussen as well. We all know he's a little bit cheeky. So, yeah. For this team, what edits would you make? This is my current team. I have 2 swaps. Wait, Yuvan, you didn't show your team. I think Ferrari's holding back. See, I don't think they're holding back. I just think, well, actually, correct, actually. But I think every team's holding back. No way are these the times that we're going to be setting in quali. We're going to be way into the 132s, potentially 131s. So let's see what happens. That's the issue with practice as well. Qualifying, we saw it. That's where it was. Singapore. Yes. Oh, I see. My bad. Oh, this is my current team. I have 2 swaps. If you got the same team as me right now, I wouldn't change a thing. Zhou over Albon this weekend. Bottas as a grid penalty. You want him in your team. Norris 2 times. That's what you want. Leclerc. Yeah, unless you want to go crazy and go for a Mercedes asset instead, then Russell. Colapinto cheap, and I don't think you'd have the funds to move him up, but he would be the driver I'd move up this weekend. Yeah, Zaid, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Hey, big love to F1 Fantasy, by the way. Big love. What a guy. Just dropping by to say hi. Love your streams. I'm running the same as you as my team too. Team 1 is Triple Ferrari. Ooh, Triple Ferrari. I'm liking the balls. I'm liking it. I'm way too scared to do something like that. But good luck. Good luck on all of your streams. I believe I'm not too much on the timeline at the minute, but good luck with your guys' streams. I know it's a big one coming up, isn't it? Hi, oh, yeah, and then, Cacti asks, hi, Zach, you may have answered this already, but I'm just tuning in now. Oh, who would you pick out of Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Albon? Hulkenberg, so first place Hulkenberg, second place Tsunoda, third place Albon. Albon is not an option, I don't think, this weekend. Right, let's get the big answer. So, Empole. So, Zhou is what we all thought. Where is what's it called? Right, this is what we need to see. Who gets 2 times? Norris or Leclerc? Now this is a big one, because let's say you even have a single premium driver team. Who are you bringing in, Norris or Leclerc? Let's say you got 2 premium drivers. Who are you bringing in? Leclerc, Norris, and if you can't afford them, are you going Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Leclerc, Sainz? Yeah. Norris, Russell, or Leclerc, Sainz. I think I would go with Norris, Russell. Okay. Wow. That's a lot more than I thought it'd be. From what I've been seeing in the chat, I thought there'd be a lot more fight for Leclerc. Is it worth Is it worth using autopilot with this team? Yes. It's not a bad shout to use autopilot. However, if autopilot is your last chip, then no. If you've got more than one chip, go for it. But if you've got autopilot or extra DRS only left, save it for the sprint race. But I doubt Leclerc's going to beat Norris on points this weekend. But hey ho, we've seen it happen multiple times. Mexico, almost. Lando Norris got ahead of Leclerc, but there was a few issues Norris had. Brazil 26, Norris 24. They both kind of had stinkers. It wasn't the best race. Basically, if your name was a Verstappen in Brazil, or if you're an Alpine fan, those were the top 3 dogs who got huge points. Everyone else kind of went bloop, right back down. Okay, Zaid, I'm going Piastri Russell, but I'm on 0.1 for Leclerc Hamilton. My preference, honestly. That's a shame. But I think it's more of a shame just because I'm not a big fan of Piastri this weekend. But the Russell compared to Hamilton's fine. Anna, hello. What do you think of Norris, Hulkenberg, Piastri, Colapinto, Albon, McLaren, Ferrari? I would get rid of Albon down to a Zhou because Albon's Williams just looks so all over the place right now. There could be an issue with the car. They're running out of parts. Colapinto's fine because he's cheap. Piastri, I would increase to a Leclerc. So the Albon money basically drops to Zhou. And basically you bring up to what team I've got here. And you keep Hulkenberg, which is incredible, by the way. Your team value must be huge, which is great to you. Okay, and then Zach, my 2 teams is for Fan Amp League. My team 2. What's the best risk it for the chocolate biscuit team? Okay, right. Let's get into it. Right, so you've got 2 pathways you can go if you're risking it for the chocolate biscuit. If you want to go balls to the walls, absolutely nuts, there's 2 pathways. You've got this pathway, which is balls to the wall crazy. You can still swap back to your normal team for Qatar. Or you go the complete opposite direction. Where is Mercedes? No, not Mercedes. Where's Ferrari? Oh, right, yeah. That's fine. Or you bring in... Where is it? Where is he? Carlos Sainz. Those are your 2 risk it for the chocolate biscuit moves. Tommy, I like the idea of risking it for Mercedes. Preference for me. But that's the other risk it for the chocolate biscuit, the triple Ferrari. Yeah, I wonder why it wasn't letting me pick Leclerc before. Zach, I can final fix Sonoda for Russell and not take any negatives or transfer. What do you think? Yeah, sure. Final fix is running out of places to do it. Why not? Honestly, that's not a terrible situation for you to do that. Yeah, go for it, Michael. No problem. I'm happy you enjoyed it. Good luck with your team, and enjoy the show. It's going to be so much fun. I do love. I'm a little bit. Sorry. I'm just thinking of the Checo Perez thing. Checo Perez. I love the especially the pre-race stuff for Vegas. It's just so goofy. Anyway, right, sorry, F1 Fantasy. Right, Isaac says 127.9. Norris, Leclerc, Russell, Colapinto. Wait, whoa. Oh, right, okay. RB, Visa, McLaren, or Norris, Leclerc, Albon. I'd go for the Norris, Albon, Colapinto, Bottas, Ferrari, McLaren. Has to be 100%. Because the issue with those teams is the top team is the constructors. You just need to have big constructors. Oh, also, I haven't actually said anything about this. 28 minutes to the end of the stream. Thank you all so much for the support on the channel. We're up to 1.8k now. Crazy. One of my videos just went absolutely bonkers in the break between Brazil to Vegas. Was not expecting it. It's like at 63k views, whatever. Incredible stuff. Thank you for that. But also, thank you for the F1 Fantasy support as well. We bloody love F1 Fantasy on this channel. And I'm never going to stop doing it. It's so much good fun. And yeah, let's keep going. But yeah, anyway, enough dilly-dallying on that. Zaid Sainz Russell or Piastri Russell or Leclerc Russell. I would go with Leclerc Russell. That's your minus 10, isn't it? And then John, what is your recommendation? Right, so I'm going to use this, but from what I've been seeing all race weekend, he does. Yes, up top, Bottas does have a grid penalty. That's why I think everyone should have him in your team. Right, so you see right now where they're like, oh, Leclerc Sainz, blah, 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 blah. No, you want a team like this right down here. Ferrari, good. McLaren, good. Leclerc, good. Norris, good. However, I will put the Norris times 2. Hulkenberg, good. I think he's better than Gasly. You know what? Actually, that's the next option. Right, so 66 to 34. That's about where I thought it'd be. Let's get the next one right on. Hulkenberg or Gasly. Because I'm very much Team Hulkenberg. He's so much more consistent than what Gasly can give you, I think. Let's see what the people think. Russell over Hamilton, yes, purely because Russell tends to do better in qualifying, and if Mercedes really are only good in qualifying, then I can't see Hamilton in the race coming from like P4, P5 into the top 3. Whereas I could see it's a stretch, and it is a interesting differential because I think he will just drop further back. But if Russell comes second or first in qualifying, he could hold on to top 3, top 4 and get you some good points, which would still be pretty decent. Okay, everyone, we have 25 minutes till the end of the deadline. I'm going to be here for another 10-15 minutes. So get your questions in below. For anyone wondering, you know what? I'm going to lock it in right now. You're seeing it right here, right now. I'm so confident in it. Bim, bam, boom. Off we go. That is my team locked in. Congratulations to everyone who's got the same team as me. Congratulations to everyone trying it. Oh, actually, you know what? I haven't actually... Bear in mind, Team 2 and Team 3, I don't use. I use them for my thumbnails. That's an interesting looking team. I don't know why I've got Albon or Colapinto on all of them. But yes, Bottas, no problem, John. Bottas is a must. 6.7 million. Would you say Gasly or Bottas? See, that's the crazy thing, Clayton. I would say Bottas over Gasly this weekend. Bottas over Colapinto? Bottas. Bottas looks like such a good asset because let's get real. If he qualifies higher than P13, then game over. It's a joke. But if he gets below P15, P16, which is what we expect in that Sauber, I expect him to potentially get up to P18, P17 by the end of the race, DNFs and whatnot. He's basically going to do what Zhou does every weekend, but he's starting definitely at the back, which is beautiful. It's very good. I do hate that I have to use double Sauber because double Sauber is it's a good move this weekend. It is the right move if you can't afford Bottas and Hulkenberg, but god damn it, Tsunoda or Zhou, I'd go for Tsunoda. I don't think this is Zhou's weekend, by the way. I just think he's a safer option than Albon. And when I say not his weekend, you know, if we get lots of DNFs and crashes and he moves up, fair play. That's the only way we get a lot of points away from Zhou. But especially with Bottas most likely starting behind him, he most likely will be overtaken by Bottas. And then we've got a few issues if there's no DNFs. When do I final fix after quali? Yeah, so Zaid, you've got to wait for the provisional points to come in. And they'll dilly-dally with that. And then I believe it normally takes like 6-ish hours, I think, after quali for them to get all of this stuck in. Basically, just make sure to do it before the race. But you could literally do it, I'm pretty sure, like half an hour before the race as well. So actually, it's more likely, if you want to use final fix, it's better to not just wait after qualifying. It's better to think about it. And then for the pre-race, go, okay, what do I do now? And then go, okay, I still want a final fix, then do it. So, Anna asked, do you recommend using free transfers to get Leclerc and Hulkenberg to get rid of Albon? 100%. 1 million quadrillion % to get rid of Albon. Albon does not look good this weekend. Albon, annoyingly, is not looking amazing any weekend now. Williams just, I don't know what's going on over there. Then, something new in asks, hi Zach, what should I pick with the unlimited chip? Oh, right, I see, yes. So, let's go over to Limitless. if you are running Limitless, I think this is the Zach F1 Limitless team. Norris 2 times, not Albon, Colapinto, Lawson. Russell, where's Verstappen? Verstappen, Piastri. That's what I would go for. You get a bit of everything. If Mercedes do well, you've got the Russell. You've got Leclerc. If Ferrari do well, you've got the top 2 constructors to do well. It's literally an all-round Limitless team that could not go wrong for you. Okay, so I'd ask, who do I start then? Tsunoda or Hulkenberg for quali? Then I'll final fix. Hulkenberg has a better chance, I think, to get into the top 10. So I would go for Hulkenberg before final fixing to Russell. Tsunoda or Lawson? I think Tsunoda looks better this weekend. I'd go for Tsunoda. Sainz versus Russell. I'd go for Russell. Yep. Natalie, hey Natalie, what's up? Should I use autopilot for Norris and Russell or save it for later? Depends what chips you've got left. It really does. Because let's say you've only got 1 chip left. I'd save it for Qatar. However, if you've got 2 chips, let's say you've got autopilot and extra DRS, you can just use it now. That's my only chip left. Oh, okay. I'd probably save it for the sprint race in Qatar then, Natalie. Norris, Leclerc, or Piastri 2 times. I'd go for Norris 2 times. I believe... Oh, Hulkenberg to Gasly, 91%. Wow, okay. That's a clean sweep. I did not expect that as much. Leclerc or Hamilton, I have 2 times on Norris. I'd go for Leclerc, Cam. Should I lock Russell or Sainz or Piastri? Then I can bring the other using... Wait... Zaid, sorry, which one's the other? I'm getting lost in it. Double Haas, so Mohammed asked, double Haas, Sainz, or Leclerc and Gasly. I would go with Leclerc, Gasly, Hulkenberg. In that situation, hear me out. The reason I go for Leclerc, Gasly, Hulkenberg is nothing to do with Gasly. It's to do with Leclerc. Honestly, I just think he's the one who's going to be getting more points than Sainz. He's got more chance to get the win than Sainz. So for me, Gasly doesn't matter too much in that situation. Hello, Aaron. Nice to see you. Shall I go Mercedes instead of McLaren for constructor to upgrade Piastri to Norris? Thank you. I would say... sorry, everyone. My head was getting itchy. I've got proper hat hair. I would say no. Just because I don't think it's clear cut that Norris is winning the race. If Norris looked absolutely dominant like he did in Singapore, then I'd be like, okay, swap over. But in this situation, you need to be careful and make sure that your constructors are right. And I think Ferrari is the way to go constructor-wise. Okay, right, let's get the few last answers in. My global ranking is down there for anyone who wants to see it. I'm really loving how I've got the chat up right there as well, because everyone can see what I'm looking at as well, which is brilliant. But, right, Tommy. I cannot get Leclerc on my team, 0.1 million short. I guess Sainz or go with Russell. I'm saying risk it, mate. Risk it. I know your team too, you're risking it as well. But risk it and go for the Russell. Oh, yeah, thank you very much as well. You can see I woke up definitely not 20 minutes before I went live. And I'm definitely not just in my dressing gown with a coat on. No, not at all. I'm always professional on this channel. Also, it's about it's like 0 degrees here in the UK, England. So I literally need to wrap up all the bloody time. What's your team? My team is this right on screen. I've logged it in. Leclerc, Norris, Bottas, Zhou, Colapinto, McLaren, Ferrari. Hello everyone. Hey Nico, how you doing? Right, Colapinto or Zhou, I'd go for... depends, zesting. If it affects your premium drivers, and you can't afford them anymore by getting in Zhou instead of Colapinto, then Colapinto. But if you're in a situation where you have like Norris, Leclerc, you can't get up to Hulkenberg, and you're like, I can get Colapinto up to a Zhou, I would actually say yes. So do I leave constructors, McLaren, Ferrari with Russell? Yeah. Don't mess with the constructors. Constructors are the main ones you don't want to screw up, and McLaren and Ferrari are the way to go, Tommy. Albon or Zhou? Zhou, I'd go for. Ashke. Zhou or Colapinto, I'd go with Zhou instead. Sainz versus Russell, I'd go for Russell. Hey, good stuff, Austin. Cheers from Manchester, good stuff. Up Man United. You're not going with any Merc? No, I'm not being swayed. It's gonna be Canada 2.0 potentially, but my reasoning, Nico, for this is Canada. There was a massive gap. That was the whole issue. If Ferrari actually got into the top 5, it wouldn't have been as big of a crash out. This weekend, if Mercedes actually look good, and bear in mind, take qualifying with a pinch of salt, I do expect Mercedes to both be in the top 4, come through qualifying. However, they're going to drop it off in the race. If it really is true how much they overheat their tyres compared to every other team, their race pace is going to drop off dramatically at a low deg track like this, because everyone else is going to be completely fine on their tyres. Right, then Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Sainz. I'd go for Norris, Russell, Dow 1. And then Isaac asks, hey Zach, what do you think of Triple Ferrari, Hulkenberg? I'm not a big fan personally of the Triple Ferraris, but if you want to risk it for the chocolate biscuit, go for it. Purely because I just haven't seen enough of Ferrari on paper and the practice results to be like, yeah, it's going to be a clean sweep from them. So yeah, that's why I think if you do bring in a Mercedes, you bring in a Russell, especially for qualifying. The issue is we've seen Russell's race pace before. He tends to be a little bit iffy with that stuff. So just be careful if you do that. But by all means, Mercedes 100% is the dark horse this weekend. And if you get it bang on, you could jump a lot of people. Again, you just got to risk it for the chocolate biscuit. For me, I think playing safe is the way to go, because this weekend isn't the big one for me. Extra DRS in Qatar next weekend is the one where I need to risk it and just go balls to the wall, see what happens. But for many people, so you might need a good weekend and you've just got to go, okay, I've got to do something big here. Okay, I'm bringing in Russell. Hopefully he does well. No problem, Tommy. Sorry, last question. If I got Russell with McLaren Ferrari, I can fit Hulk in over Zhou. Good to go or leave Zhou? Oh, bring in Hulk instead of Zhou 100%. Then yeah, just be careful, Tommy, because if that means just when you make your team, go back into it and go manage and make sure you can get back to your other team for Qatar, so that you don't have any issues trying to get the best team for Qatar. 2 times Leclerc or Norris. I believe it's Norris, and I believe we did a poll. Most people thought Norris as well. Piastri versus Sainz. I would go for Piastri. I'm not a big fan of Sainz this weekend. I'm second in my league. Risk it or play it safe. I'm 3 times on the next sprint. I would play it safe then, Isaac, purely because you need to focus on making sure your team is ready for the sprint race weekend next week. And then finally, okay, I'll be leaving after this question because I'm going to go get ready. I'm going to go sit down, get a drink, and chill for the qualifying. But Aaron asks, hello, mate. Shall I go for Mercedes instead of McLaren for constructor? Oh, no, Aaron. I would stick with McLaren as a constructor, stay with Piastri. Because on a race weekend like this, where Norris doesn't look adamant that he's going to win, you've just got to get the best constructors, and you could lose a lot of points if you don't have McLaren in the team. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the live stream. I believe Rain Fantasy, there should be quite a few other F1 Fantasy live streams up right now for the last 13 minutes. I'm going to go relax, get a drink, probably make some breakfast, because I've been up now for an hour and a half, so I'm actually quite a little bit hungry. But anyway, I'll answer one more question. Is Norris, Leclerc, Albon, Colapinto, Bottas, Mercedes, Ferrari? Okay, I used no transfers for McLaren to Mercedes. Yeah, okay. If you're going for the differential, go for it. Why not Piastri? He just hasn't looked amazing. FP3, I don't really want to go off. Late red flag. People not getting their times in. A bit of an issue. Mercedes or Ferrari? I've gone Ferrari this weekend. Right. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so happy you guys could join. Like and subscribe. Please, everyone who's in the live stream, go to my last video. Do the F1 Fantasy survey, because we're trying to get some change done to F1. and you guys need, you guys can say your thoughts and what exactly you want changed with F1. It's going very well. I've heard from the Fan Amp boys. It's doing good. So let's come together as a community. Come together as a community, and let's try and make some change to this game we love. Hang on. Can I get it up if I get my email up? Where is it? I might put it in the chat as well, actually. The link. Where did I put it? Oh, I have so many emails. There it is. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat as well for anyone who wants to do it. Bye, everyone. I'm just going to leave that there for anyone who wants to do the Fan Amp survey. It's going to be really good, because if we get enough responses, F1 are actually going to listen to it, and it's going to be fantastic knowing that we, as like a group of F1 Fantasy community, could be like, okay, yeah, we're the reason Driver of the Day doesn't give 10 points anymore. They're actually listening to us. They're changing things that we want changed, sort of thing. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all got something to take away and put to your teams. Remember, team deadline is in 10 minutes, so get those teams ready. But anyway, have a great rest of your weekend. I might be live after the race, before the race. I'll see how I'm feeling. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.